Listen, I am not a Braixen main. You may know me, Mr. Juked Them, for my Sapphire and Empoleon, but today we'll be speaking about something I've noticed a lot throughout the Pokken community's YouTube comment sections and Twitch chats. Braixen, the fox girl of a certain warm cheese sandwich lover's emote slots. She's been a top character throughout Pokken's lifespan, and for good justifications. She's got the good buttons, but for many reasons, whether that's for her design or how she's played, many people seem to dislike her for playing lame. Huge thanks to Double and Shadowcat for fact-checking and providing information. Y'all should follow them, they're two of the best Braixens around. Totally unbiased script because of them, I swear. If you need convincing because they're zoner mains, I don't play Pokken tournament, well, let me stop you right there, because that is part of the problem, and she's never been a zoner. Well, kind of, it's a bit more complicated, but that's why you're watching this video, and I'm here explaining why you're wrong and teach you some valuable life lessons, such as why Braixen got the reputation to begin with. Great segue to this, I know, after insulting everyone watching this. EVO 2016, the year of Pokken's Wii U release and the event where it was the highest entered game. That wasn't Smash. It was a unique event to say the least with the game's young meta, but there was a lot of energy going around. Until the grand finals, at least.
He's back to a battle, so we're gonna see this situation a lot.
This Braixen, played by the outstanding Tono-sama, is what would be ingrained into many outsiders and lower to mid-level players' perceptions of how the character is played at top level. She was, according to viewers, a zony/campy character who was very slow with little action going on. Admittedly, certain things were problems. Wii U Pokken wasn't the most balanced game, with unblockables and other silly nonsense showing up before disappearing in DX. For the most part. For Braixen, she had several unbalanced traits that led to this misconception. Her JY had zero landing lag, meaning her neutral game was utter chaos to deal with for most grapplers, rushdown characters, and opposing zoners who attempted to get through these fireball flurries. Braixen could neutralize opposing zoners with light screen, which had no gap in between its uses for her to get hit. And then there's her enhanced mode and buffs that grant her insane amounts of damage for very little hits. Lastly, her gimmick with supports was at its peak here, as legendary Pokemon such as Reshiram and Yveltal weren't restricted to once per round, meaning with her ability to raise support quickly, Braixen could utilize Reshiram for space and shield break setups, and Yveltal to make sure the opponent could never go into synergy burst. The game's supports had to be balanced around Braixen, as a mechanic like hers could be too potent in the roster, especially for a metagame that was just developing. Altogether, she was effective in making every character have to come to her, and Reshiram and Yveltal in particular had long animations and were useful up close. While most of these would be fixed in patches or the DX release, it was too late for a lot of people. So did Braixen kill Pokken's chances at being among top fighting games rivaling Smash Bros. And Street Fighter? Somewhat. A Pokemon fighting game was a dream come true for many, myself included, but the game did have its Wii U problems, and by that I mean being on the Wii U itself. So it's not entirely Braixen's fault, but it added so much fuel to the fire that her wand burnt out. And so did many viewers, leading to the idea that she was a lame and zony character to this day. May have also led to the belief that Pokken was all around very slow and unenjoyable, but that's not the point. Double and Shadowcat are fine Braixen players, and have shown their skill with her and how versatile her support choices are for various matchups. Shadowcat in particular has won stacked tournaments with the character, and even when he doesn't win, he showcases a stunning performance in his sets that brings out Braixen's true power. One of these hype-induced moments was during 2018 Internationals, where Shadow bested the #1 player at the time, Twixie, which shocked the audience and caused an uproar of excitement. I highly recommend checking it out if you want to see Braixen's true demon form and her skill level. But this means nothing to the YouTube and Twitch commenters who see a few projectiles, get scared, and call her a lame fighter while not paying attention to everything else going on. It's especially noticeable with me because I'm in a lot of those sets. That's understandable if you're unfamiliar with the game, but it still isn't giving credit to the work top Braixen's put in. With a bigger brain, one begins to realize that Braixen's true nature is to control the flow of battle. What do I mean by control? Essentially, Braixen can trick opponents by putting them in dire situations, a baby Joe where they have to take certain actions. Braixen controls both space and what the opponent does, and can adapt and punish them for doing said actions alongside her supports, which is very interesting for mind games. Sure, this can mean zoning with projectiles, but this can also lead to pressuring with rushdown tools like Flame Charge or her Air Dash, breakout light screen to cancel projectiles to force up-close interactions, or power up and toy with the opponent at mid-range with her enhanced state and various moves like 6-wide, with Flamethrower for powerful anti-airing. But that's just scratching the surface of it. Braixen greatly benefits from this control-based kit, and with other long-range attacks that make the opponent perform certain actions or can be used for setups like Psybeam or Fire Spin, she can have a player in the palm of her hand, or paw? Whatever. As an example that's common against the Firefox, if the Braixen knows you're trying to jump their now nerfed and not as busted JY, thank goodness, she can hit you out of the air with a fiery golf ball. She's very interesting when it comes to mind games because of this, but it's definitely not all shown at face value, which is another reason for this misconception. Her support, charging, and cancels develop another layer to this that can get me going on, and honestly I might be getting a little bit too into this even when writing the script and even voicing this because now I'm off script. Sometimes she'd want to zone against Machamp, other times she'll decide to break Chandelure quite literally with mid-range and rushdown tools. It all matters in the context of the matchup. So that means the only time you can complain about it is if you main Machamp. Braixen has a high skill ceiling due to all this, as all the splendid attacks she possesses get utilized together to create a very unique character who loves controlling space and the opponent's thoughts. Why do I talk about this like it's a tutorial to Braixen? Commstar hasn't made that yet. To give a better idea, the sheer skill level of people who delve deep into the character, it's honestly fascinating. Many who try the character thinking she zones all the time end up dropping her since they've had the wrong image of her in their minds. They attempt to use her tools strictly for zoning when that is not the case at all. No two Braixen players use the character anywhere close to the same as the other, with different supports for the same matchups just for preference. Those different supports can make the matchup very different or cover them in different ways that one Braixen player may already be good at dealing with while the other isn't. And of course, vice versa. All around, supports can be offensive, defensive, or synergistic with her playstyle. She has an interesting dynamic that doesn't get recognized a lot, which is sad after seeing the same comments throughout the years and the effort Braixen players put in. In conclusion, to my PowerPoint presentation, except not really this time, get freaking good! Braixen isn't a top tier because she's a zoner. In my opinion, she is one of the most exciting characters to watch, and while stressful, playing against her is a ton of fun. Maybe not for everyone, but respect the fox girl who has me at gunpoint. I do love a good challenge against a character like her, especially when she's in synergy, but oh wait, I forgot all about her burst mode. Never mind, this character is super lame. Hey, it's me, Jukem over here at like 4 AM because I have no other better time to do this at, but thank you so much for watching the video. It means a lot. This is a video I've been meaning to make for a while. Motivation sometimes peaks, sometimes it dips, you know, just little stuff like that. It always happens with me, but I'm always happy to make a big video like this from time to time. This one actually came out pretty quickly compared to like in between like when the last big video happened, which was the one of my Sapphire guides. But yeah, I do think Braixen is a very cool character, even with the burst mode factored in, which I didn't really talk about too much, but I just wanted to shout out to, again, Shadowcat and Double for helping me out with this video. Of course, there's other great Braixen players out there that I didn't get to mention. A while, Gallade and Shippo are just two more of them. There's actually quite a bit of Braixens from what I remember, but not so much nowadays just because, you know, we've been into a little COVID, you know, just a little COVID stuff going around. This character is fantastic, and honestly, those who put their heart into this character, they play so differently, as I mentioned, using different supports, using different tactics. It's crazy. Shadowcat especially is just like a peak example of how Braixen could be really shown to be super exciting. Yeah, that's what compelled me to make this video, honestly. Actually, it took me so long to make this video. I think I recorded the original stuff like 2 months ago or so, and between that I mentioned like, man, why do I mention this like it's a guide and there is no guide from Comboster? Oh, guess who made a guide during this whole dilemma that I've been having? Shadowcat. So I'm gonna put a link into the description, 2 videos of his, one for Braixen's beginner guide and one for supports that he does, and definitely check out his channel. He's been doing a lot of different Pokken guides too, and it's very cool if you want even more first-hand experience from the Braixen master himself. But besides that, I don't really have anything else to say except for, you know, if you want to get, you know, the usual stuff, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I do want to make a lot of big videos like this, and sometimes it takes a lot of time to do that. I do feel bad because I do have to do daily content, and sometimes that means I'm going to have to do a lot of like, ooh, Pokken set videos or Mario Party videos, or like, you know, the basic stuff like that. Not too much effort of videos, and it's like a wider span of a video with a bit of effort put into it, but I hope this was worth it for those who are watching it right now. So thank you so much for your patience, for if you stay in between all these videos. Thank you again so much for watching this, and I'll leave you guys with some bloopers I have done, because guess what? I get very distracted all the time when I'm recording something. Not right now, I'm a good boy. I'm doing this all in one take because it's the last thing I need to do for the video, but yes, these are bloopers. I'll make sure to put things on screen that detail what exactly I'm referencing, because yes, I does get that bad. See you guys next time for more Jukem Cinematic Universe Pokken content. That's very long. She was, according to many viewers, a zony/campy character who was very slow with very little. Just say very once, Jacob. Why do you have to put very into everything? I mean, I know you probably put very like 5 times in the script when you had to remove them, but what? And other projectile-like attacks such as her side... S-Y, I'm... S-Y. S-Y, am I doing this to me? Wait. Link. Why are you doing this to me? Why? Why are you doing this to me? Link, yeah? Hi. Meaning with her ability to raise support quickly, Braixen could utilize Reshiram. I love Reshiram. Oh, Reshiram. I love Reshiram. I just break out into song. Lastly, her gimmick with supports was at its peak here. Xiaocat in particular has won stacked tournaments with the character, and even when he doesn't win, he showcases a stunning performance in his sets that brings out Braixen's I should just say a word and then just like edit all together. Like Braixen controls both space and what the opponent does, like that stupid Sonic thing with Shadow. This aggression will not stand. New players watching my video, this aggression shall not stand.